Oh, what? I'm like, Anthony, just make sure you tell me when you press the button. So when it starts, I'm not just standing here looking like an idiot. But clearly totally unintentional. So this is something that I am actually pretty excited to open up. Now, here's the funny thing. When Intel launched their, I don't even know what exactly they're calling this platform, like, because it's not their workstation platform. That's on LGA 2066, and it's certainly not a server platform because that is on LGA 3647, but it uses different chipsets, it uses different chips, you can do dual socket and all that stuff. This is the weird in between. When Intel launched what's inside this box, they actually completely left us out of the party. I didn't even know that they had brought it to market yet until I saw videos and articles from other people, and I was like, hey, so you guys launched the overclockable 28-core processor, huh? And they're like, yep. And I was like, oh, well, we would have loved to do a review of that. And they were like, oh, really? It didn't really seem like your style. And I was like, what? What are you doing? No. No, actually, I kept myself very calm and collected. And, it was all very dignified, everything. Anyway, the point is, we are righting this wrong, and we have gotten our hands on the new Xeon W, what is it, 3175, Anthony? Is that? 3175X. Excuse me, I meant 3175X. But the thing about this product is that Intel apparently doesn't trust people to use it properly. So they have gone as far as to not just send over the CPU, but even send over a completely built system with the CPU integrated into it for our use. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to open this up and we are going to have my first hands-on experience with the 3175X. After I tell you guys about our sponsor for the day, Massdrop. Massdrop. Not a drop, not a drop, just a fling. Wow. Okay. You would have thought I staged that, but actually this is here so we can make sure we have the right motherboard in our system later. Getting my composure here, excuse me. I'm good. Massdrop. Massdrop is featuring the Hi-Fi Man HE4XX headphones. So these are planar magnetic headphones, and Hi-Fi Man basically requires no introduction. They have a fantastic reputation for building high-quality headphones that sound absolutely fantastic at a fair price. They've got this nice, comfortable velour on the inside of the ear cups here. We're not going to get a chance to get B-roll, David, so do you have that? Very nice. And we've got nice soft padding on the wide headband for nice even weight distribution. These are an open-backed headphone, so you can expect really nice spatial awareness in case someone's calling you or whatever else, and beautiful stereo imaging. So you guys can check these out at the link to Massdrop in the video description. Okay, now let's move on. So this is one of those situations where I kind of wish that we had prepared for the stream at all, rather than just pulling this off the pallet and then getting started. Because if I'd known that this was like a box within a box on top of a box situation, I might have removed one of the boxes. So we don't have to wait so long, but Intel clearly wasn't taking any chances that this would get damaged in shipping. So they have gone ahead and they have double packed it on top of shipping it inside a crate rather than via traditional courier. This is a fun one. I'm really not sure what the rationale was here, but even on the inside box, okay? Make sure you handle that with care, okay? Yeah, I guess, yeah, is that just a message to me directly? Very subtle, you guys. All right. Okay, so we've got some accessories here. This looks like the cables from an EVGA power supply, including one of those ever so beefy, dang it, I forget what, C19 I want to say? I want to say C19 connectors. Can't remember, doesn't matter. Some modular power cables for the inside of the system. Okay, an included copy of Windows, RGB control for the system. They got their priorities straight. Let's go ahead and tip this down again. Oh. Dang it. What's that?
It's fragile.
Fragile, right. Well, the box isn't fragile. The box is fine. Okay. All the packing materials. Here we go. This thing is so friggin' heavy. And the crazy part is that I don't get this. They shipped an entire dual, either 120 or dual 140 millimeter liquid cooling system separately. So am I expected to install the cooler myself? I mean, like, that's fine. I'm fully capable of installing a water cooler. I just mean if you were going to go to the trouble of pre-building the system for reviewers, I would say that installing like a custom grade CPU water cooler like this is probably about as difficult as it gets. So maybe ow. The air's really dry here right now. Just got zapped. Okay. Oh boy. I could have read all the notes that Intel sent over on this, but I figured Anthony's right there. He's read the notes. He can tell me if I miss anything super important. Sorry, everyone. Rip all the users of the HE4XX and really anything else with nice, accurate sound reproduction, because that noise was truly spectacularly awful. All right. So this is actually going to be my first look at Gigabyte's board for Intel's, I guess we would call, why don't we call it, what do we want to call it? High-end workstation?
Yeah, what, I guess? Is that what we're going to do now?
Because, like, the thing is, you've got your consumer, which is on LGA 1150, whatever we're on now, 55 right now? Can't remember. It was 56, then 50, 51, 50, I don't know, it's one of those. So you've got your 11.5X consumer platform, you've got your 20XX HEDT, high-end desktop platform, then you've got entry-level workstations on LGA 2066, then we've got, Hughes, high-end workstation on 3167. So that is probably why, where should I put this tempered glass? I don't want this to break. I'm gonna put it inside this box. That seems safe. So this is probably why Intel included a new cooler for me. Do you guys want me to install it on stream? I mean, I guess if we're streaming the experience here, we might as well do it, because this is a very kludged together looking solution right here. So what makes this platform stand out from the other ones in Intel's lineup? Well, there are a couple of things. First and foremost, it uses an entirely different socket. So as I alluded to before, this is LGA 3647. So that is like, what, 50% more pins than 2066? More than 50% more pins. Now, what are they doing with all of those pins? I'm glad you asked. So a couple of things. Number one is they need more power, because LGA 3647 at this time goes up to 28 processing cores as opposed to 18 processing cores in the low-end workstation, high-end desktop socket LGA 2066. The other thing that these extra pins do is handle the additional memory channels that are available to this CPU. So when you have all those cores, you need a ton of memory bandwidth in order to keep them all fed. So you can see here, we've got 6 memory sticks installed, but we've also got an additional 6 available DDR4 memory slots. So this is a 6-channel memory controller. Not quite as many as AMD has on EPYC, but, you know, hey, who's keeping count anyway? All right, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, this is fun. So everything about this motherboard is basically supersized. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull this graphics card for now, just so that we can get a bit of a better look at it. So the socket is actually pretty much, takes up the entire area under that copper plate there. And I'll talk through this cooling solution and why it's not really that great once I've popped it off. But the socket is like, I don't know, 5 or 6x the size of a consumer socket. The board itself, actually, Anthony, can I ask a favor of you? Can you stop monitoring the stream for like 30 seconds and grab me an ATX board? Just like that blue PCB Intel one that's in the little like paper thing full of motherboards. You know, just the slidey thing? Yeah. Just like one of those would be great. Is this gonna come out? I swear I have undone the screw. Okay, there it goes. All right. So the motherboard is supersized. A standard ATX board would be about from here to here, down to here, and then would contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 expansion slots. Now, this one also has 7 expansion slots, except for one critical difference. There's actually a gap of 3 expansion slots between where the I/O would normally end on a standard motherboard, an ATX motherboard, and where the PCI Express expansion would begin. But all that space is getting taken up because here, thank you. Check this out. ATX motherboard for scale. This, all the way over here. This is still motherboard, folks. It is like double the size. So here's another thing that's taking up Mondo space. On a standard motherboard, this area up here, kind of in between the CPU socket and the top, and then in between the CPU socket and the I/O of the board, is typically reserved for your VRM. So that's where you take your 12-volt DC that's coming out of your power supply, and you turn it into nice, clean, stable power at the voltage that your particular CPU requires. Well, that space wasn't enough, and instead, this entire segment of the board, all the way along the top with this gigantic heat pipe cooler and 4 cooling fans on it, is the VRM. That, my friends, is exactly how much power Intel expects could be consumed by this CPU. Now, the thing is that this socket exists in the server space where motherboards really do just have about this much PCB space dedicated for VRM. So what's the deal here? It's because of the overclocking. So those boards are intended to run CPUs that are just running within spec. There's going to be world record sub-zero overclockers fooling around with these things, so they needed to make sure that they were beefy enough to handle multiple times over, potentially, the power draw of what you'd get even with a 28-core Xeon running on a standard server. What else is exceptional about this thing? I'm actually going to start pulling it out. So, oh man, where do we even start with this? They've gone and kind of cable managed everything. Okay, why don't we find out what else we're dealing with here? So we've got a 1080 Ti. Oh, we're going to need to replace that. We're going to need something 2080 Ti class by the time we fire this up, right, Anthony? Yeah, probably, but not just yet. I've got one in my office that we can actually borrow from my bench. I was working on the 8K red footage video today. You know what? I know why this. Sorry, everyone. I know why this is so heavy. I'm going to go ahead and pull the tempered glass panel off the back here. So between these 2 tempered glass panels, this thing just weighs way too much. It's way too much. Get it? Way too much mass.
You're fired.
You can't fire me! You can't fire me because I already fired me. That joke was terrible. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and pop this over here. Yeah, that's really, really heavy. David, do you promise not to trip over this if I put it here?
Promises are for...
Okay, all right. I'm gonna put it up here then. It's probably fine. Probably fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at what all they installed in this thing. Oh, there's some pretty fun hardware in there. So they threw in one of the U.2 versions of their 905P series Optane SSDs. So that looks like it's going to be our boot drive down there. We've got EVGA's Supernova 1600 T2. That's an 80 plus titanium 1600 watt power supply. Of course, all the fans and everything are hooked up. So this must be like one of their demo systems, because even though it's got, you know, some pretty nice hardware and decent cable management and everything, like it doesn't have the I/O shield or anything like that in. So this has got to be like an early sample board. This is a funny thing to me. You've got so many PCI Express lanes. So these things are equipped with, is it 48, Anthony?
Yeah, 48.
48. So 48 PCI Express Gen 3 lanes, but there's almost none of it dedicated to I/O here. And I remember noticing this about one of ASUS's early engineering, like prototype grade boards for this platform. But a lot of the time what you'll see on like repurposed server hardware for desktop use is you'll see like gaps like this, where stuff that wouldn't make sense on the desktop, like VGA and like a serial port, might just get left off, and then the gaps on the PCB are just left so that they don't have to redesign that for what is definitely going to be a very, very low volume part. They only have to redesign the parts of the board that they actually need to change, and then they'll just reuse other stuff. So I think that's why we ended up with really bare bones I/O on this particular board. At least that's one theory. Like, I don't actually know for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and start popping things off here. So note as we go, all the connectors I'm removing. So that is 2 6-pin PCI Express connectors going into the motherboard right there. Those are for, apparently, they're OC PEG_1. Now, I don't know if those are for high power draw graphics cards being in here, because you could put up to 4 graphics cards in here. And remember, even though 4-way SLI is dead as of, I think 2 generations ago or whenever it was, overclockers are still able to enable it for certain benchmarks. So I don't know if these are for that or if they're extra power for the CPU. I would have to consult the manual to find that out. But I kind of lean towards probably for graphics, just because there isn't anything else for that. And there are plenty of power connectors for the CPU, as we are about to see. So as we go up this edge, I'm pulling out our U.2 data cable for our Optane drive down there. We've got 2 fan connectors for these beefy boys that are on this very custom Asetek cooler. We'll dig into that a little bit when we remove it. This is going to be a much longer stream than I expected. So David, how's your back? You good? Okay, well, get buckled in, because this is going to be quite a thing. I didn't realize I was going to be installing a water cooler on top of doing a board swap. So now here, we're pulling out another power connector, and note this, 2 24-pin power connectors. Like what? Apparently this is optional because it was clearly working without it, but you can plug 2 power supplies directly into this motherboard. Like what? Also, here, we're going to go ahead and keep moving across the top here. Yeah, my friends, that is not 2, but 4 8-pin CPU power connectors, all the way up at the top of the board on the left and on the right here. Now, there's only 2 installed right now, so I guess the other 2 are optional if you're not doing like sub-zero overclocking or whatever else. But again, it gives you some idea of what they expect. These poor boards and CPUs might get put through. We're not going to be doing anything that nuts, though. We will leave the extreme overclocking challenge between like Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 cents, I think. So I have a slight problem, Anthony. Can you iFixit kit me at some point here? All right. Yeah, some point in the relatively near future, because I don't have the Torx bit that if you could get mine, I know for sure my kit has all the pieces. It's in my office on the left of my bench table. Thank you. So yeah, I need these, I need to undo these Torx screws here. I'm pretty sure the iFixit kit has the right bit for it. And then I also just need to find where the crap the screws are on this very strange motherboard form factor, because I won't be able to pull the board out without undoing them. Oh, I guess I can take a moment to talk about the cooler. So I recognize this. This is clearly it's labeled. This is clearly an Asetek AIO water cooler, but it's unlike any one that I've seen before. Something a lot of people don't know is that while Asetek does provide coolers for consumer brands that you've heard of, like Corsair, for example, they also do a ton of OEM work in the server space, even going as far as to provide cooling solutions for large data centers. So it's not surprising necessarily to me to see a custom solution from Asetek. It's just that this one is pretty darn weird. So the first thing I noticed was that this block, so this core block and pump design was clearly not designed for such an immense CPU. Like, it obviously doesn't cover it. So there were going to be cores of this processor that were basically not covered by cooling water. Obviously, that would be a problem. So what they've done here is, as like an intermediary step, I think it's these ones first. As like an intermediary layer, they've gone and they've thrown this thick copper plate, because even though a CPU does have an IHS, an integrated heat spreader that is designed to spread out the heat from the die, apparently that was not considered enough, and they needed this nice thick piece of copper to act as kind of like a heat buffer, so that it could help to absorb and spread out all the heat that's coming off the CPU. It also clearly didn't work as well as they were hoping, because they went and included that EK solution in the box. So here we can get a look at a couple of things. So one is the carrier plate, like the carrier, I don't know, sled, you might call it. Are you gonna come off? Oh, the TIM breaker. Oh, cool, it's right here. There's a little icon there. Yep, perfect. You're supposed to pry open it there. That's neat. Okay, so we got to look at this carrier thing here. Can you just come off, please? There it is. Okay, just got to release that clip and that one. Okay, so that's designed to hold the CPU while you install it, so you don't accidentally bung it up. Is there a bloody bent pin in this socket?
Oh no.
Well, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to be putting that ASUS board in anyway. Wow, there's more than one. You gotta be kidding me. You can really see it from, you can really see it from this angle down here. There's a bent pin there, and there's like 4 of them here. Can you see them at all?
I can see the one.
Can you see those 4? You can really see it from my angle if we swap spots.
yeah.
Yeah, you see that?
Wow.
Okay, you guys, we were live streaming this. I did nothing. I swear I did nothing. All right. Yeah, that's clearly a bad socket. Anyway, so a couple other things we can look at. We can see the sheer magnitude of this copper plate that they're using to spread that heat out. That's pretty impressive. And then we also get a look at the CPU itself. So back when Intel was demoing this, word on the street was that they were just using kind of tuned Xeon Platinum 8176s or 8180s, which are 28 cores, fit in this socket, and they were just manually changing them to have an unlocked multiplier. Well, now we get a specialized chip. So I actually don't remember all of the exact speeds and feeds off the top of my head, so I'm totally gonna cheat and look at my phone. But basically, this is the Xeon W. W is for workstation, 3175X. And I am going to pull, yes, there it is, sweet. So let's see, it's their 14 nanometer plus process, 28 cores, 56 threads, so it does have hyper-threading tech, 3.1 gigahertz base, and it boosts up to 4.3 gigahertz, 3.8 actually with all cores active, although that's not with AVX2 workloads. It's got a total of 38 and a half megs of level 3 cache, 28 megs of level 2 cache. Ridiculous. And the TDP is 255 watts. And of course, we can expect that to go much higher with overclocking. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to put this aside for now. We're definitely not going to drop it. I did send an email asking nicely for a replacement for my Xeon 8180 that I dropped, and nobody has replied to me, so it looks like there's a good chance I'm either going to have to use engineering samples or pony up and buy one, which sucks because that's even more expensive than this one. Anyway, that CPU is not really going to stand out that much to anyone who's been watching the saga that has been 6 workstations, 1 CPU. The thing that's really special about it is just that it's overclockable. All right, we can go ahead and pull this board out now. That gives us a really good feel for the scale of this thing. One thing I really will say that I like about Gigabyte's solution here is that they've gone ahead and they've implemented the full 7 PCI Express slots instead of just 4 with double spacing like ASUS has done on their board. But unfortunately, like, I have no idea if I were to go and reinstall this CPU if this thing would even work. So if I did have any projects in mind that required a bunch of PCI Express slots, then I might not even be able to do them. That's a little frustrating. All right, so let's go ahead and lay this down. Almost said the wrong one. Now, let's turn our attention to this cooler. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. But so the first thing that stood out was that they had to use this copper plate to increase the effective size of it, just to be able to cool a CPU of that magnitude. The second thing was the fans that they're using on it. So these right here, I actually can't tell the brand, but it looks like they're like Panaflows or Deltas or something like that. You can tell just from, you can tell just from the plastics that they use that these are designed to be high RPM fans, because something, actually, again, this is something a lot of people might not realize. Something a lot of people don't know is that the force on a fan as it's spinning is actually significant enough that even on a lightweight desktop fan like one from Noctua, the blades will actually spread out and flatten in a significant way while they're operating. And that can affect the tolerances of it. So if you're trying to, let's say for example, like what happened with Noctua's latest fan, if you're trying to get the blades really close to the outside of the hub so you don't have that wasted air gap there, it can be really, really difficult. And it also means that if you're building a high performance, high RPM fan, you have to account for that even more because it's going to be spinning faster, which is going to exacerbate the problem. Then the third thing I noticed about it, right, so I'm saying these are high performance fans. Then the third thing I noticed about it, oh boy, do you have clippers, Anthony, by any chance?
I don't.
Clippers or oh, I have a knife. It's okay, I'll just use my knife. Where'd my knife go? David, do you know where the knife is? Are you gesturing to it or are you just stabilizing yourself? Are you just in awe right now? In awe. Okay, well I will grab another knife. Yay! Now there's a missing knife around here somewhere. That's always good. All right, let's just free this. Ah! Oop, okay, just a sec. There we go. The third thing I noticed is that on top of this being a thicker than standard radiator, typical desktop cooling solutions are going to be the slim style radiators, is what we used to call them, I guess. Not on top of being thicker, this is an extremely high fin count radiator. So what a higher fin count does is, so you've got your copper tubes that allow the water to go from, here we go, from the inlet all the way down. So half of this is hot water coming down, and the other half is cool water going up. And obviously there's no clear division between the hot and the cool water, and actually it's all like mostly the same temperature at the rate that water moves in a loop like this. But basically it just means that half of these tubes are carrying this water down and half of them are carrying them up to the outlet up here. So what the fin count means is that these usually aluminum fins, but these ones, are they copper or aluminum? I saw one that was scratched. Wow, these are copper fins. This is a really nice radiator. This is like ball inexpensive. So you typically have brass in the tubes and tanks and then aluminum in the fins, but you can see right here that copper color. These are copper fins. Whew! Anyway, so you can either have these double triangles like they've done here, or you can just have single ones. And when you have the less dense arrangement of fins, it's more optimized for lower RPM, lower static pressure fans. So you go and you put low performance fans on that, it'll actually do better than if you put those fans on a thick one like this. And similarly, if you take a high fin count one like this one and put it with those low performance fans, it'll suffocate. it won't be able to push the air through. So you need to pair high density, high fin count radiators with high performance fans, and then vice versa in order to get the best experience either way. So yeah, this is a crazy friggin' water cooler. And again, they clearly didn't think it was enough. All right, so we've gone as far as tearing this whole thing down. I guess now it's time to build it back up, and then maybe, like, I don't know, fire it up, run some Cinebench, do like a Blender test, or like whatever it is you guys want. I mean, it's your live stream, so I am so sorry. There we go. All right, I got to clear a little bit of space here. The amount of room that a build like this takes up is significantly more than I'm used to, because like the components are all so large. So this right here is our ROG Dominus Extreme. This has not been tested yet, which is exactly what I think Intel was probably trying to avoid when they sent us a completed system rather than having us build it ourselves. But, you know, theoretically it should be fine. And wow, that's fancy. It comes with this nice little like foam, you know, test bench station effectively underneath it, so I can go ahead and put that on top of the box. It's friggin' heavy. Feature-wise, it's very similar to the other one. So you got your 224 pins. You've got, is that even more? Yeah, you've got even more CPU power connectors, 2 8-pin EPS, and then on each side, and then an additional 6-pin PCI Express. Although it could be that, again, those are for the graphic slots somehow. No, I don't think so, because they've got an easy plug down here. They've got an additional 6-pin down here that I believe is probably going to be for these guys. Yeah, your USB 3, yeah, you know what, who cares? Let's go ahead and get this thing built. There's nowhere to put anything. It's fine. Accessories-wise, nothing is labeled. Thank you, Asus. I mean, this whole platform is not really intended for consumers, though, so I can kind of understand why the documentation is a little bit lacking. In fact, I don't even see a manual in here, because it's going to be system integrators that are going to be the ones who even can get access to this hardware. No, this does appear to be a manual. Wow, manual, bunch of stickers. Not what I'm looking for. What I really want is the I/O shield, but you know, that's okay. Don't label anything, you guys. Just have plain black boxes. You know, it's fine. I got all the time in the world. It's not like I'm live streaming or anything. Wait, why is this not going out? You know what? It doesn't matter. Where is my I/O shield? What even are these? What is this? Wait, no. What? Wow. Okay, so one of the things that Asus does on some of their high-end boards is they've got an extra slot on them. I didn't even notice this. They've got an extra slot that kind of looks like another memory slot. So you got your 6 channels, so 6 slots total on either side, 3 channels on either side. And then you've got these additional ones, both on the right and the left, called DIMM.2. So they look like a memory slot, but they're not. They're actually just running standard PCI Express, and then it's just using a proprietary connector here. And you're supposed to install these puppies. So these are single DIMM.2 to dual M.2 adapters. And these are fancy ones now. So you can see the mounting hardware down here, that support still just two M.2 drives, but with like massive heat sinks on them. And they go ahead, they include a couple of those for you. So that's a nice touch. Thank you, you guys. Oh, wow, had a panic moment there. I thought for a second one of them was using a square ILM and one of them was using a narrow ILM, but they're both using narrow ILM. So on Intel server platforms, there's actually 2 different types of like cooler mount configurations that are available. I don't see an I/O shield in here. Is there no I/O shield? Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, it's integrated on the board. I swear I saw it. I swear I saw it before you said it. Please believe me. Do you believe me, Anthony? I don't think he believes me. That's fine. I don't remember what I was talking about anymore. Dang it. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get this thing installed. So come on down. We can go ahead and remove our cover. Oh, right, square versus narrow ILM. So you can either have it square for boards that have more space, or there's a narrow version like this, a rectangular version, if everything's all full of DIMM slots and DIMM.2 slots and fan headers and all kinds of crazy nonsense like that. So let's go ahead and grab our CPU carrier. Let's see if I can remember which way it goes. I don't have to. Wonderful. It's got a label on it. I do love it when things work out, but which way does it go? Trying to remember. Yep, hopefully this way. Seems like this way. Yeah, sure. No, that doesn't seem to be working very well at all, does it? Give me a sec. Yes, quite. There's a lot of play there. It doesn't go in this way, does it? No, it can't, because this has to go up through the cooler. Okay. Thinking. Oh, this is embarrassing. I really wish I'd paid it. So I've never actually used these. You don't technically have to. Wow, should I just not? I've never used these when I've done LGA 3647 installs before because none of the engineering sample boards that I got had them included, and the CPUs didn't come with them, at least at that time anyway. So I always just plunked the CPU into the socket and then installed my cooler on top, and I guess that's going to be the approach we're taking because I can't figure out how to put it on right now. Should I just chuck it on there after the fact? Sure. Why not? There, now it's on. Heck yeah. Push latch. Wait. Is there an actual... What the devil? Oh. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Now, obviously, it's not going to hold it in very well like this. Actually, it does seem to be holding it in. Oh. Not very well. You know what? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our CPU cooler on now. So this is one of EK's Phoenix kits, which I haven't actually personally installed before, but it couldn't be that complicated. It's EK. They usually have pretty good mounting hardware. Like I said, this is ending up being a much longer stream than I thought, but hopefully you guys are into it. How many people are watching right now, Anthony?
17,277 on YouTube right now.
Okay, so apparently people do care about this.
People also care about the fact that you didn't clean off the thermal compound.
People care that I didn't clean off the thermal compound. So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. For the best possible results, you should definitely do that. But we're talking like a degree, honestly. I have actually tested it. I never did a video about it called Can You Reuse Thermal Compound? Because I didn't want to deal with all the complaints about it, because even if the results were what they were, people were still going to hate it. But actually, no, I do not intend to bother replacing the thermal compound. It will spread out again when I put this new block on it. I'm very, very sorry. If it overheats, you guys get to tell me that you told me so. Okay? Deal? Okay, deal. All right, let's throw our hardware in here. Oh boy, I get to assemble my own mounting hardware for the CPU block. That should be fine. So once again, we are looking at a very beefy radiator, but this one's a little bit different. So in order to avoid patent disputes with folks like Asetek, EK has gone and integrated the pump over here. I believe that's the pump, either that or that, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. And then you can see they've gone with a slightly different approach to the radiator. This is still copper, but it's using, still dense, but just these U's instead of the double like kind of triangle configuration. Please remove before use. Let's do that before we forget. Hey, once I have done that in my entire career, both just as a PC tech and as a YouTuber, you never live it down. The worst part was that I had given Alex a really hard time about it like a couple months prior, and then I went and did it. Yeah, actually that really doesn't look like enough thermal compound was left behind. Shoot. Okay, I will have to reapply my thermal compound. Do we have any paper towel handy, by any chance? There's usually some on set, is there not? Wow, they did a really good job of cleaning up on Monday. Do you mind, Anthony? Do you mind, Anthony, grabbing something?
Yeah, sure. Do you want some thermal compound too?
No, I've got thermal paste. I'll just use the included stuff, doesn't really matter. All right, in the meantime, I can go ahead and I can mount this radiator. So I'm going to need different screws because you can see they've got it configured for exhaust out the front of the case. Actually, that's the same way the other one was configured, but it's the fans on the case side instead of the rad on the case side, and they use different types of screws. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pop this in here and then go look for whatever it is that they intend for me to use. Oh, you might want to come around this side, David, because this is where most of the action is going to be for a little bit here. All right. Okay. Anthony.
What?
Oh, you're back. Good, excellent. Oh, wait, no, never mind. They did include some fan screws. So this looks like it's like an Intel care package as opposed to something that just arrived out of the box from EK, because they've got exactly just the fan screws that I need, and there's no standard radiator mounting screws as far as I can tell. Thank you, sir. Oh, no problem, we got this. All right. Now, so let's go ahead and put those there. I'm not going to put all 12 in. I'm sorry, you guys. But I will put in 6. That will be our little compromise. Oh man, these front panel cables are getting in my way a little bit here. Hopefully, I can squish them enough that I can get this rad in. That is really tight. That is a really tight fit. I mean, I would expect that everything about building a system like this is going to be sort of not for the average builder, like not for the novice. And I do kind of understand the rationale behind making this pretty much a system integrator's only part. With that said, I mean, you know, it's nice to be given the choice as a consumer as well. Do you want to check, Anthony? Has this processor showed up on like Newegg or Amazon yet? I'm just kind of curious. Oh man, so these gaps are a little bit, some of them anyway. Oh, the tolerances are not very good on this case, I think. Either that or it was stretched before. So the gaps on this side are a little bit wider than these ones, and the heads of these screws are really small for a fan screw. So it's actually slipping through on the right-hand side there, but it's not going to impede us, I don't think. Newegg for $3,000, hey?
Yeah,
Not available?
1800, and it's also not available.
Okay. So there you go. It's anywhere from 1,800 to $3,000. I sincerely doubt you'll get it for 1,800.
What is the Dominus?
Oh, the Dominus. The motherboard? The motherboard is $2,000?
Oh yeah. Yeah, $2,000.
What? Wow. Well, that's a new one. I mean, even like the old SR2 and like Skull Trail boards and stuff were only in the, you know, sort of $600 range, if I recall correctly, like 6, 7, 8. Wow, that's a new high mark, I think, at least that I'm aware of. All right, so that's in there well enough. I'm not concerned about that coming off. Whew. I am a little concerned about just sort of like generally breaking this as I continue to build it here, because I'm trying to go fast to be respectful of your guys' time and also trying to do it somewhat properly so you guys don't yell at me. All right, we will clean the thermal compound. I have backed down on that one. I always do a dry pass first. You actually can remove a lot more of it that way. And then you're just left with the remnants when you go at it with the isopropyl.
So how much longer do you think it's going to be?
Who's asking?
Riley.
Riley wants to know how much longer. Oh, he has to shoot tech linked, doesn't he? Haha, wow.
Yeah.
How about that there, Riley?
Oh, you know what, it's fine. It's okay. I can figure it out.
Okay. That's good. Let's go ahead and install this motherboard then, I guess, and hope that the CPU doesn't fall out of the socket while we do that. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Breaking another Intel 28 core. Yeah, that's really not holding that in there at all. Well, I might have made my life a little bit more difficult, but it wouldn't be the first time. It's certainly not the last. Let's go ahead and just lay the case down. Scott! Lay the case down. Huh. Huh. Oh. Must be Friday. I need to lie down. All right. Oof. So I'm sorry, David, but you're not going to be able to see this very well, I guess, unless, do you have an angle there?
There's an apple box.
There's an apple box? Do you need an apple box?
Yeah, of course.
I will apple box you. Ready? Here we go.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. There's some movie magic for you guys at home. It's not close enough? Oh, dang it. All right, well, you got this. Thank you, sir. There was really nothing I could do to help you. Okay. So, oh, wow. This board is a little different. We're just gonna go ahead and see if we can clear this space that we need. So instead of being so long like the other one with the 10 slot configuration, ASUS starts their PCI Express slots right here. It's only a standard ATX length. So what that means is that these fans are in the way of our cooler right now. Oh boy. Uh-huh. Is that what's interfering? It does kind of seem like it, but see, I'm also not entirely sure, because it seems like there's a bunch of room between the headers here. But something is stopping me. No! It's this. How interesting. So if I could, okay. Huh. All right. Maybe it's that these are pulled out too far right now? Because yeah, it's not the fans. It's these capacitors that are built into these cables. Uh-huh. Yeah, this is not amazing, what's happening right now. This is what we get. This is what we get! I'm sure over at Intel, they're just like, Linus, this is why we sent you a completed system. This is literally exactly the reason that we did that. You knew that. You knew. But we dared to be different. Oh my goodness, I just can't even get at it at all. You know what, we're close though. Oh man, just that, oh, those cables. I don't think we can do it. I think I have to liberate the cables first, and then I'm just gonna have to figure out how the crap to get them over there. Oh boy. Well, that's gonna be interesting. This thing is so big, it's just unwieldy. Okay, and that. What's under it? Okay, USB 3. Come on, baby. Just get in there. You got it. You can do it. Oh. Okay, now after all that, of course, because the boards are different sizes, not all of the mounting holes line up, so there's nothing to plug into here or here. Yeah, it's very funny, Anthony, very funny. So I have to take it back out. All the things you guys don't normally see in the video, right? This is the beauty. This is the beauty of doing it live. The beauty and the agony. All right. So let's have a look-see, shall we? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 across the top. You know what? 2 is enough. We've got 2 more right here and here. Those ones do appear to line up, but that right there, that was going to be a big old problem for us. So we had an extra that was probably actually scratching on the back of this back plate here. That was going to be a real big problem. We could have, well, I mean, it's got a back plate, so maybe not as big of a problem. So it would have flexed the board a little bit, but it probably would have been okay. But if you don't have a back plate on the back of your motherboard, then what you can do in a situation like that is you can end up actually scratching the back of your board, breaking traces, and effectively, well, destroying it. So we don't want any of that going on. Guys, don't let me forget that I put this bit here. I will need that. Let's go ahead and pull that standoff out first, though. Okay, so we got this guy, and then this guy, and then this guy. Yep, that should line up just nicely. Then we've got this guy, which does look like it is lined up perfectly fine. We've got this grommet to fix. Okay, that's just my OCD getting the better of me. This doesn't actually matter. We don't actually have to do this. Ah, now I can't stop. Okay, I have to do this. Oh, wow, it's worse than before. Just, please go. Oh, please just go in. Entering panic mode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Panic mode averted. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Then we also need this one. So we can go ahead and pop one in there. That's the one we took out. And then this guy is not doing anything, so we might as well move it up. Sorry, you guys can't really see what I'm doing right now. All right, and this one is over here. Oh, this is a really awkward angle to work at. But don't feel bad for me, feel bad for David. He's working harder than I am right now by a long shot. All right, here we go. For those of you who don't know, David is the camera guy who's shooting right now. Anthony is working the least hard out of all of us. He just has to like fetch stuff occasionally. And drink Pepsi. Diet Pepsi, I'm sure. See, I know his drink preferences. He's very particular. Okay, so the board's in, and everything that I was expecting to have a standoff in it does. So we're going to call that good enough, and we're going to go ahead and screw it in. Let's try not to drop any of these screws. Oh, I've already got one loaded up here. Oh, wow, this board supports everything. It's even got a, oh wait, I thought that said Thunderbolt Header. Does it have a Thunderbolt Header? I'd be pretty impressed if it did. Yep, it does. Got support for Thunderbolt, got all the things. 2 U.2s on this puppy. You got 8 SATA slots. You got those ridiculous 4 M.2s. What's interesting though is that even with the size of this thing, it doesn't have a single M.2 in like a standard configuration, just lying flat on the board. So you have to use those DIM.2 cards. Interesting. Now, what's also interesting is that I appear to be short 1 screw. I find that to be a little bit concerning. So I can actually check why I'm short a screw fairly easily. So 2 across the top, 2 down the middle, 1 more here, and 4 across the bottom. 2, 2, 1, 4, so that should be 9. And I'm just going to check from the back. 1, 2, 3, where are you? Oh, okay. 2, 3, 4, yeah. 5, 6, 7. Which ones am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4 across the bottom. Ah, this one. 8, 9. Yeah. Okay. That's right. Why do I have an extra screw? Oh boy. Oh! Ha! Haha. The screws for the graphics card. Okay. Let's just carry on then, shall we? Did the chat figure it out, Anthony?
No, they were too busy cringing every time you picked up the case.
Cringing when I picked up the case. Oh, right, the CPU's not in yet. Okay, well, you could have told me that.
Well, I didn't want to break your train of thought.
Thanks, Anthony. I know you've always got my back. Well, you're stabbing me in the face. Oh.
Remember that CPU isn't in?
The CPU wasn't what, sorry?
I don't know, just when you're picking that up, I'm getting like a lot of stress seeing it like.
Oh, yeah, no, he just told me.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot.
15 seconds away.
Okay, this is the worst peel of all time. Came off in 3 pieces. Terrible. Terrible. No one buy this board. $1,800, worst peel ever. Just kidding. That's not why anyone cares about this board. Okay, so now we've got new problems. I have basically no way to access the 8-pin connectors over there. But first, we're gonna deal with this once and for all. We've got to assemble the mounting for the block. I'm just gonna have to figure out exactly how to do that. Bunch of like, wow, you know when your cooler comes with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Allen wrenches, you're in for a super duper good time. I think someone's at the door. Oh boy, we've got stoppers. We've got, what even the crap are we looking at here? Okay. Wow, instructions. Are there instructions? I really... All right. Well, you saw it, folks. This was it. This was the point where this stream went completely off the rails. Okay. Hopefully we have all of those thumb screws, and hopefully these are the instructions for the Asetek cooler. Come back. I really, really, really need that. I need that to not be gone. Does this not have... Nope. Okay. Well, it's not clear exactly how this goes together, but I like to think of myself as reasonably clever, so I am sure I will figure it out. Basically, we've got 4... Basically, we've got 4 of these, and they need to go through these holes and hold this to that. Sure, I'd love to know where the instructions are.
Okay, so the chat says the instructions are stuck in on the side of the packing in the box.
Stuck inside the packing of the box? I don't see them. I don't think that, are they referring to this? That's just a protector for the, oh! Thank you, chat. Ah! Beautiful. Okay. How are we doing here? Oh boy. These might just be the standard instructions for the standard kit that doesn't go on LGA 3647. Yeah, I think this is just like how to fill your loop. Holy crap, this isn't filled. Of course not. Oh boy. Oh boy. And no, there are no instructions for LGA 3647. Stop. Stop. Just go there. All right. So, there are a few things I know. One, that the threading is slightly different between the corner screw standoffs and the ones down the sides. So I just need to figure out which ones of these are which, and then I can't go wrong. Are they different? Maybe they're not different. You know what? We're going to YOLO it. we're going to put with thermal compound. Here we go. Oh, wow, there's nothing on this IHS at all, not even Intel Confidential. That's really unusual. Okay, hopefully this is enough goop. These are really big CPUs and require a lot of goop. So we're just going to put that on there, a little like that. And we are just going to screw these on because that's all we really have to go on at this point. So here's an Allen key. Actually, I'm doing this out of order. It should be this one first. Oh boy. I do have the prompter remote. You can. You'll have to give me 1 second here though. Oh boy. Oh man. Hi. You know, normally I stream because it's fun. But this is just stressful. This must be just as stressful for you guys to watch as it is for me to do too, so I don't know if anyone's having a good time right now. Here you go, Brandon. 17,000 people. 17,000 people can be wrong. I've actually seen much larger numbers of people be wrong in the past. Talk quieter? Are you guys shooting on the TechLinked set? Oh, okay, so we're just going to be shooting two things simultaneously. See, when you said you'd figure it out, I kind of assumed you'd figure out something different, like shooting over in the lounge or something, but that's okay. We're doing TechLinked right over there on the other side of that wall, and we're doing this live stream right here on this side of this wall. Yeah, so that'll be tonight's episode. Okay, so I've put in the two screws on the corners, and now I'm putting in the ones on the sides. So the first two are just to keep the block kind of on the socket, and these two actually wrench the CPU down into the pins, into the LGA. Actually, is technically the LGA the thing on the bottom of the CPU or on the motherboard? I think it's the motherboard, so I think we're going into the LGA, the land grid array. Okay. Oh man. I'm sorry, David. This ended up being a much bigger project than I anticipated.
Still like an hour to go.
That's on me. That's on me, not on you. Okay. The good news is that as far as I can tell, this is working. It's working and it's what we expected. Oh, right. What we don't know is if this is actually full of water or not. Oh boy. So do they ship this empty or filled? Oh man. Now I kind of wish I'd used the Asetek one again instead of switching to this. I mean, we're not going to be overclocking it right now anyway. Why did I care? Why did I build it overkill? It's like a question I've asked myself many times. Why did we make it overkill? I don't know. Oh man. Okay. Do you happen to know if the Phoenix comes pre-filled and if you like drain it then expand it, Anthony?
I think it does come filled.
Let's find out. I doubt it. I really doubt it. Okay, here we go. All-in-one expandable blah 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 blah. Okay, blah blah blah. Oh. Right. So I think it is supposed to come pre-filled, but it's also supposed to come with quick disconnects. This is just a completely different product manual. So removing the expansion balloon. Yeah, ours doesn't have an expansion balloon. I have no idea if it's full. Yeah, sort of. I mean, it's a Phoenix in the sense that it's got the same radiator and pump combo as the Phoenix, but it's a different block. It doesn't come with the GPU expansion module. Like, it's only sorta a Phoenix. I mean, it doesn't really... Okay, so why do they include these? If not to fill it or something. And see, they've got these extra stoppers too. What are they for? I don't know. Yeah, okay, you're right. Worst case scenario, we start pumping air and we destroy the pump. Okay, that is a worst case scenario. And then we have to install the Asetek cooler back on. But that's okay. I think these people are enjoying the process, hopefully. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug our 24-pin power in. That we can access. Woo, this is the primary. Boom. Then we can loosen up our, what is this? That's USB 3, okay. So actually that we can do as well. Okay, we're getting all the easy stuff out of the way right now. That goes right about, come on baby, just go in easily please, thank you. That goes right about there. Thank you. Then we can loosen our U.2 a little bit here, see if we can liberate that a bit. Nope, we cannot. That's fine. Now I can tip it up, right? Cool. Yes, we can liberate this a bit, but we'll need to cut some zip ties. Oh, I found my other knife. Hey, this is looking up. A little, I could really use clippers right now. That would be a lot better. There we go. No, I'm good. No, hold on, not yet. Remember, do as I say, not as I do. And I'm saying don't do that. All right, down it goes. We can go ahead and plug in our U.2. Boom. We are making real progress now. Here's our front panel audio. No, that's USB. And that doesn't happen to line up with any USB header on this board, but that's fine. We don't really need USB anyway. And now I just need the power switch. So they use a different pinout. So I'm just going to take this tape that was so helpfully applied to this to make it easy to install, and I'm going to remove it. And we're going to go ahead and plug our power switch in right about, gorgeous. Front audio, you know what? What the hey? Let's do it. You only live one time. All right. Now we need to solve a real problem. Here at the back are my two 8-pin connectors. Obviously, there is no way whatsoever to get those through the back of this. It is completely closed up with this board. They're also cable managed in. Yes, Anthony, I take it back. I would like clippers. I can't keep doing that. I will cut myself eventually. Yeah, for the views. No, I would rather not cut myself today. Okay, you know what we also need? Some 8-pin extensions. Yes, that's our solution. Cable mod to the rescue. So, David, how much can you follow me? This is your umbilical cord, isn't it?
I can remove power, but my SDI isn't going much.
That's it. That's all. Okay. Well, maybe you can put yourself over here, and then I'll wave to you from over where the cable stuff is. I think you can take the power with you, actually. You know what? You stay there. No? Okay.
I'm coming.
Okay, so I'm going over there. I'm going over to
That's it.
Cable Land. Can you see me? I'm going to Cable Land. I need some 8-pin extensions. I could have sent Anthony, actually. That might have been smart. Well, you know what? I'm going to grab the box that I think contains 8-pin extensions, and then if it doesn't, then you can bail us out, Anthony. Nope. This is so ridiculous. Can you get through here, David?
Oh, I did it once.
Oh, yeah. Like a boss. Do you need help? Can I give you a hand getting up? Okay. the good news is this is exactly what we needed.
1 second, I need to plug in. Okay, maybe it won't. Nope.
Wait. No, this is not exactly what we needed. These are just modular cables. I thought these had female ends. Okay, you know what, I'm taking this project to the floor. There's not enough space up there anymore. Okay, Anthony, my hopes are fading. Oh! There's one. Wait, no, is this PCI Express? Bloody hell, I think this is PCI Express. Anthony, you might need to look for 8-pin extensions. You could try one of the other bins of cable mod stuff, or you could try, no, we won't have time to wait for an order. You could try the specialty PC power bin as well. I mean, there's an extension. See, that's what led me to believe there might be some extensions in here. 6-pin PCI Express extension. Is there going to be everything but 8-pin EPS extension in here? Come on. Oh, there's one. Could there be another one? Oh, PCIe. Come on, EPS. Yes. Wait, I have two, Anthony. Yes. Victory is mine, I think. See, the thing that I don't know is whether this ASUS board also allows you to just plug in 2 8-pin connectors like the Gigabyte one. And what I also don't know is where they would go. So we are going to have to either consult the manual or trial and error this sucker. First though, we need to remove these because we are clearly not cable managing them up the back anymore. Okay. There we go. Then we are just going to run them in the messiest way possible. Right up over top of the CPU. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Wait, you know what? No, we can do a little better than that. We're going to go up right here. Do you see it? Can you see me? Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. See the cable? Heck yeah. All right. So it's coming out right up here. Ow. Ow. Okay. Wonderful. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. This was not what I intended to do. All of this. I just thought, you know what? Simple motherboard swap. They'll be the same size and shape. That's why we have standards. Standards. Yeah, I'm sure ASUS. Anyone who's been sort of following this platform a little more carefully than me is probably just like laughing at me this whole time. I don't know if Intel's laughing. I think Intel's crying. Okay, I just need this to go in there. Wait, is this one PC? Bloody hell. This one's PCI Express. Anthony, you might need to, no, wait. How the heck am I even gonna plug these in anyway? I forgot about the real challenge. The real challenge is that these fans are in the way. I can't even access the sockets anyway. Okay, so this one is gonna go over there somehow, we hope. Oh, could I do it? Wait. Oh, but which one? I think I can. I think I can plug it in. Motherboard box. Motherboard box. Where'd it go? Here. Wait, did it come with a manual? Yes, it did. It did. Okay. Whew. Come on. Just open. Just open. Without the weight of the board in there, it doesn't fall open anymore. Okay, the manual was in here. Home stretch now. Home stretch, baby. We got this. If I can plug this thing in, I will be so happy. Sorry about that. All right, blah, 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 blah. Installation tools and components, yeah. Like your case is gonna look like that. SATA optical disk drive, optional, you bet it is. All right, here are the labels. So ATX power connectors for 8-pin A12, B12, A3, B3. What the crap is this labeling? Okay, please tell me which ones are optional. Please. Just have it laid out. This is the one you need. This is the one you don't need. Come on, hit me with that useful information. Here we go. Okay, so there's A1 to A3 that appear to go from left to right out that way. And then there's B1 to B3, which go right to left out that way. So for a fully configured system, do not forget to connect the 8-pin power plugs, otherwise the system will not boot. It doesn't say which. This motherboard supports up to 2 power supplies. So great. Fit the proper and push down firmly until the... Nope, it doesn't say. So here's what we're gonna try. We're gonna try A1 and B1 and see if that's enough. So I think I can put this in without taking out that fan. There's a little thing in my way though. Get out, little thing. Oh, it's a fan connector. My iFixit kit. I need a spudger. Oops. I already took a spudger out earlier and I didn't put it back, so this is my second spudger. I'm sorry, Riley. Okay. Oh, is that in? Yeah, it's in. Okay, so one's in, and this one might just be long enough to make it without an extension. Now the problem is that these don't lock together on this particular power supply, which is a real hassle for me, because it means I have to both hold them together and plug them in at the same time, all in a gap that I can't really reach. You know what? Forget it. Oh, hey Riley. Are you done? Did you just ASMR the whole episode?
Yeah.
Nice. Bloody hell. These, this grill is too wide to put a fan on top of it. Okay. All right, with this fan out of the way, I'll be able to plug in the second 8-pin power connector here. Oh, Anthony, did you ever go get a 2080 Ti?
No, the one that was on your desk was on a bench that was still powered, so I didn't want to turn it off yet.
Oh, it's fine to turn that off.
Okay, you want me to do it?
I'm done with that bench. Yeah, if you don't mind, we're pretty close to graphics card install now.
Okay.
Oh, I can smell it. I can smell it. We're close. Just burned.
You smell it, David?
I passed out. Dude.
Passed out 2 days ago. Thanks, David. I'm sorry, David.
It's okay. This is interesting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Because I can't stop and think about whether it's interesting or not. I'm just trying to build the computer. The computer I should have never taken apart. You know what's hilarious is I'm planning another live stream where I put another thing that I should never have taken apart back together. I'm going to put that red camera back together,
On live stream?
and I'm going to do it live.
It's not gonna happen.
That's the plan. I'm going to try anyway. I mean, I think people kind of get a kick out of watching me struggle anyway, so
That's true.
if nothing else, the people will be entertained. Are you not entertained? Go in. I can't get in there. Can you see how tight this is? Too tight to fit a camera in to see what I'm doing, that's for sure. Just go. Okay, let's try one at a time. See, because I can't get my fingers in there, so I just have to maneuver it using the cable. Got one. Halfway in. If anyone from EVGA is watching, that is why you need the 2 halves of your 8-pin. If you're going to have a 4+4, that's why you need them to lock together. Because sometimes you're building under suboptimal circumstances. And this is nothing if not suboptimal, everything that's going on right now. Whew. Oh, thank you, sir. That's beautiful. Ooh, still warm. All right. Let's just throw that back on there, I guess. We're making real progress now, my friends. I really, you know what? I don't want to ruin this pump, Anthony. Can you check Intel's email and see if they said if that thing is pre-filled or not?
I'll check it.
Thank you. It would be tremendous to know before I turn it on, because we're actually getting dangerously close to that. Pardon the expression. All right. Screwdriver. Let's go ahead and install our graphics card in the top slot here. And we will also need this cover. Fantastic. So that's interesting. We also ended up with somehow, we're 1 screw short instead of 1 screw extra now. So I only have 1 screw to put in the graphics card when I had 2 when I took this thing apart. I don't know what's a bigger concern, screws left over or not enough? Both? Let me know in the chat what's worse. All right. The peel tab fell off. Okay, Asus, you guys got to step up your peel game here. This is the worst motherboard peeling experience I've had in quite some time. All right, so that's in. It's like barely supported by this thing. Go ahead and screw it in. Also, I think we're gonna need the PCI Express power connectors that used to be plugged into that Gigabyte board. Just for this graphics card, it needs 2 8-pins and a single 6-pin. Isn't it gorgeous, folks? It's beautiful. Okay. What was I thinking? I don't know sometimes. Okay, RAM. Okay, let's just walk this over here. Now, this is yet another thing that can go wrong today, because this RAM is validated for the CPU clearly, and that is a big factor these days because the integrated memory controller is, well, it's integrated. It's built right into the CPU. But you can still get weird compatibility issues from board to board. Let's find out what we're dealing with here. So this is Samsung 8 gig, 2666. So 8 gigs times 6 would be what, 48 gigs. Dang. All right, let's go ahead and pop these tabs. Ooh, that graphics card is still very toasty. So it was running 8K video playback acceleration, like GPU acceleration stuff upstairs. That's going to be a video coming pretty soon. Well, actually, that's funny. That might not be that soon. So that'll give you guys some idea what our video queue looks like, because I shot that like 2 hours ago. Okay. Here we go.
They don't say anything about whether that loop is filled or not.
They say nothing?
Nope, just that the EK is optional for people who want to overclock.
It's optional for people who want to overclock. Well, I'm certainly glad I put it in then, because I'll definitely be overclocking on this stream. Just kidding, I will not be. I'm going to be happy enough if this whole thing boots at all. And if it doesn't post, I really don't think I can stick around long enough to troubleshoot the whole thing because I have to catch a plane later today. I am going to a wedding. So, good luck, everybody. Here we go. That's it, it's done. I will try a couple things. So I will at least try more 8-pin connectors to see if that's the problem. All right.
You're troubleshooting already, but we don't know.
Oh, I need a power cable. Yes, here it is. And that is one, oh, you can like hear it. Sounds like knuckles cracking. I will need a power cable. Here it is. Oh, that's fine. Okay, I will need a portable nuclear generator. No, just kidding. The outlet should be fine. We're only running at stock speed with a single graphics card. But this thing could be loaded up to draw more power than you could provide with a single outlet, I am pretty sure. I need power for my monitor. And then I will also need some kind of display cable. Ah, here we go. There's one plugged into the monitor already. Oh man, I am pretty nervous, you guys. Let's see if we get lights. Do we have any indicator lights whatsoever on the board? We do. And they're RGB. All right. Moment of truth time. Yeah, there's like a display on here. Full color display. This thing's ridiculous. Okay. Wait a minute. Stop. Actually, let's find out if it posts first, but this thing's going to overheat really quickly because there's no power plugged into the pump. I need this. But we can still find out if it posts. Usually you have enough time. Oh, that actually might not be a terrible sign. It turned off.
Probably memory training.
Yep. CPU, blah, 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 blah. Okay, stuck at BD for a while here. Remember, oh, back to CPU. Okay, that might not be a great sign. Come on, baby. Code 79. VGA? Come on. Hey! There it is. Okay, post. Let's turn it off quick. Okay, now we need to figure out where this goes. So, I don't know. What the hell? Excuse me, pardon my my foul language. Because I didn't see anything on the top of the radiator unit that looked like a plug. I mean, the good news is, hey, I only put in 6 of the screws. That's what I call planning ahead. It's not about truth, it's about branding, you know? Planning ahead. Oh, can I just rip this off because they go through? No, these two are stuck pretty good. So show me the power ports. So one of these looks like an RPM sense and one of them looks like power. But where do they go? Where do you go? My pluggies. Oh! Ha! I didn't even notice this. Check that out. Neat. So there's power, and then here's tachometer. Cool, so all the fans are actually powered off this single thing too. That's pretty elegant. Good job, EK. That's smart use of the space that otherwise just would have been pointless and tank space. Actually, I guess we can just leave this like this because you only do live once, and also because that way if we have to fill this loop, we will already have access to it. Oh yeah, I could also just check if it's filled. Good thinking, Anthony. Yeah, we can just check if it's filled. iFixit to the rescue. Actually, I'm not going to use my iFixit kit for that. I don't want to ruin it. Okay. We're almost there, David. Almost there. It's full. Ah, sweet water. Good. Excellent. Ah, pre-filled. Whew. You know what? Screw it. Ah, the sweet sound of pumping. And my weak justification for this fan hanging here is that we need some cooling for the memory. Yeah. There you go. There was an old product called the Antec Spot Cool that was basically this. It screwed into like a motherboard standoff, and then it just had this like our kind of articulating arm thing that you could use to just kind of position it wherever. Now hold on just a minute here. 49 gigs of RAM, that doesn't seem right. Wait, yes it does, 48. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Detected devices, U.2, Intel 480 gig Optane, blah, 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 blah. CPU fan speed error, that's fine. We weren't, oh, can I get a keyboard and mouse by any chance? No, I said, can I get one? Still no? No? Okay. Please? Thank you, Anthony. So this is fantastic. Everything actually somehow miraculously appears to be working. And this is why I never learn. Okay. Neat. So all we need is a keyboard and mouse. Oh, I can plug in networking now as well. I wonder if this thing has 10 gig networking. Because you never know. When you get into high-end products, either they include everything you could ever want or need, or they include nothing because they assume you have enough money to buy whatever else it is you could possibly want or need. You can go either way. Oh, I guess I could look at the box while Anthony's over there. That would answer my question. And well, that stuff's going to fall out, so I'll do it like this. LAN. Aquantia, 10 gig LAN. Yep, regular Intel LAN, so you have something that works before you install drivers. You got your Wi-Fi, 2x2 AC, Bluetooth V5. Interesting. So this is an EEB board. Wow. So ASUS managed to make their board a standard size. Oh, thank you, Anthony. I actually didn't look that closely at it as I was going, but this is a standard size board. It's SSI EEB. I mean, it doesn't fit in a lot of things, but that's better than proprietary. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you'll be needing to get a new case. Cool. F1 to run setup. Isn't that beautiful? So let's find out how they had it set. So multi-core enhancement was set to auto, so I guess that might be on, would be my guess. Oh wait. No, wait, right, Intel didn't set this up. This is a new board. Okay, so this doesn't really tell us anything. This just tells us ASUS's defaults. Well, screw it, let's just do it then. Boom. Please boot. Now, usually, it's not a problem to swap from one board with the same chipset to another board with the same chipset. Now, your Windows license might freak out a little bit, but where you really run into trouble is swapping between dissimilar architectures. So if you have, okay, that's potentially not good. Oh, you know what's really funny is that's the same error we got earlier. So 3 more cycles of this and it might work, David.
Hey.
Yeah, it's the bug code NDIS driver. So where you really run into trouble is switching between dissimilar architectures, like trying to go from this down to, you know, an Intel Sandy Bridge or something, or going from AMD to Intel or vice versa, that sort of thing. You can even run into trouble too, though, just like swapping out sort of too many things at once, like your graphics card and your network card and, you know, something else. But I don't know. I actually have a fair bit of faith that this is going to work out. I cut myself. That's how you can tell it's a good build. A little bit of sweat, blood, and tears. You can't get there without the blood. Oh, I think I'm supposed to file a safety report for that. What's it called again? Incident? Yeah, I don't remember. If you get cut, yeah, I did a little bit. Although I think it might not have been cutting myself so much as just my hands are really dry because the air's so dry and it kind of split. So hard to say. What I do know is that I am staring at a Windows desktop. How's the screen brightness for you, David?
If you can go a little brighter,
I can go a little brighter. I can go a lot brighter. How's that?
Oh, wow.
Is that bright?
More.
More? You want more?
Yeah.
I got more for you.
Oh, yeah, more.
Give us more. Is that good? Cool. So why don't we start with a good old-fashioned Cinebench run? Wow. That's pretty fast. What kind of clock speed are we running at here? So all core clock of, yeah, it finished too fast and I didn't get a chance. One moment, please. Let's try that again. I love how Intel tuned some little funny things about this install, like how big Task Manager is out of the box, so you can see all the threads and like see how they're correctly aligned here. So we're at 2.8 gigahertz, all cores there. But it was kind of jumping around a little bit. Let's try that one more time. 4,000 Cinebench score. Love it. Is it supposed to be 3.3?
I thought it was 3.8, but maybe 2.8.
Is it 2.8? Yeah. Oh no, I think 3.8 is max boost.
Yeah, I think that was the.
I'm not sure.
You know what? That's an AVX workload.
Oh, this is an AVX workload. Okay, so we do already know that AVX workloads are going to result in lower clock speeds because they are a bit more punishing. So, hey, where do you keep all the Blender benchmark stuff?
That would be on use of software /Blender.
Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, shoot. Are we not... Oh, that's okay. The Aquantia drivers aren't preloaded because this is a different board. I just need to switch NIC ports. It's fine.
Oh, our contact at the ASUS just sent me an email.
Oh, what does our ASUS contact have to say?
He's watching the stream now,
What?
and he's telling me what power connectors need to be plugged in.
Oh, yeah, tell him it's good. I got it. Oh, well, I don't know, unless I plug them into the wrong ones, in which case he can feel free to correct me.
Well, input 1 is on the left-hand side.
Input 1. Okay, well, that's not how I did it. But it's working, so I'm sticking with it. Okay, so what? I actually haven't set up the Blender benchmark. You need to install the full Blender, right?
Yeah, or you can download the 2.8 beta and just extract it from the desktop. You don't have to install that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Sweet.
Using the beta because it's the only one that supports curing.
Cool. Let's grab it. Dang it. Where's just the download link, you guys? Please. This is...
Blender.org.
What is going on? It keeps scrolling down instead of up. That's really weird. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I don't know if I want a daily build. Oh, fine.
That's right.
Okay. I guess so. Save. Sure. Why not? No.
I don't know what Floatplane chat's upset about. I guess they want emotes.
Floatplane chat's mad?
Yeah, they want emotes.
They want emotes.
Yeah, they're trying to rebel.
Oh.
They're using me as a hostage. I'm not a very good hostage.
What else do we want to do on this thing now that we've got it up and running? I mean, we could check temps, right?
Yeah, and you can do the Cinebench max that you hire in Cinebench.
Ooh, yes, we could.
We have that on the Mac as well.
Cool. Yes, let's do that. Hold on, let me just grab hardware monitor real quick here. Zip English. Da, 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 da. Are you coming down? Oh, Edge, man. Did they not install Chrome for me? They didn't. It's like the first thing I install, just so I don't have to deal with it. Cinebench Extreme, right? Here it is. This is 4 times the workload of the regular Cinebench, and is basically a new benchmark that this is like a community thing, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
it's a modified version.
So it's a modified version so that instead of seeing these really high core count processors like the 32-core Threadripper, the 2990, like this one, instead of just seeing them just like rip through it and then not really giving them a chance to either sometimes get up to full speed or like settle into their sustained like power limit, this one is designed to take 4 times longer so that it'll really separate the truly awesome from the just like very super awesome. Let's find out where that download went. All right, that's a zip. We can go ahead and extract that. So you can tell everything we're doing today is very fresh. Extract in /Blender. Yep, go for it. I sincerely doubt these are XMP sticks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, is that Gary?
No, but part of the email that Nick sent over
Oh, okay, sure thing.
said that it can handle up to 4,000.
Okay, apparently this board will do up to 4,000 megahertz. I really don't think this RAM is going to do that. It's just some pretty bare bones RAM. I actually didn't check the ICs. Like, they might be really good ones or something and very overclockable, but I'm not counting on anything right now. Why are these taking so long to extract? Is this like a network bottleneck or something? Because the CPU is barely being touched.
There's a lot of small files.
4%, yeah. Yeah, it's a ton of small files.
Yeah, that's probably why.
So there you go. Oh yeah, wow. So this one's only 80 megs, but it's 2,300 files. Well, yep, there's your problem. Got him. Did they preload anything else on this? Ooh, Candy Crush. Well, we can play Candy Crush in the meantime. It's time for a Let's Play. Did you know wrapped candy something something? Oh man, if I accept these terms of service, am I going to regret it?
Guaranteed.
Oh, I regret it. Log in with Facebook. No, let's just play. Yeah, no, I get how it works. Wait, is this still a tutorial? Is it just telling me the answers? This isn't real gaming.
You gonna be a snob about this, Linus?
Yep, I'm done. Okay. Why don't we try, let's do Cinebench Extreme first. Oh, right, you can't have both of them open at the same time. No, I don't want to save my score. Okay, so here's the new one. Extreme, unofficial mod. So this will take a little longer. I mean, it's still chewing through it pretty quick here. Let's double check those clock speeds. So yep, that's 2.8 gigahertz. So this is most assuredly an AVX2 workload.
Yeah, because the base clock I think is 3.
Neat. Oh, right, I downloaded Hardware Monitor. Thank you, worthless Windows search. I guess I'll just go get it myself then. Wait, what the crap? Where did it go? Thank you, Edge. I have no idea where my download went. It never started. Oh, did I have to click again? All right. Nope, Edge is not to blame for this. Oh, what just happened? Wow, I'm not a huge fan of this mouse. It's like the clicks are hair triggers.
Well, it's gaming.
Yeah, for gamers. Okay, X32, X64, here we go. All right, so I want to see what kind of temps we're getting. Just at stock speed even. We're not even making it suffer too much yet. That's great, that's great. There's so many here. You can barely like keep them all on the stupid page. Okay, so we're 26 to 28 degrees at idle. Sorry, I can put that on your side, David. There you go. And then, no, I got you, fam. Okay. Now we're going to run this again. We got 1152 the first time around. And now let's fire up Task Manager. Okay, go ahead and pop that down there. And so you can see here, everything is actually perfectly under control in the low 40s. So yeah, like a Xeon, it doesn't draw a crazy amount of power or output a crazy amount of heat when you're just running it at stock speeds. Where you're going to get into trouble is when you overclock it, because it's not like you double the voltage and you double the heat output. Like, it's an exponential curve. So, and then, you know, Intel and AMD, well, NVIDIA, all the chip guys, they're always tuning for that sweet spot of as much performance as they can squeeze without letting the thermals and the power run away with them. Well, this chip, the sort of rumor is, was never designed to be used like this on an overclockable platform. So it's probably taken some work to even get it this far. So we're at 1158 in Cinebench Extreme, and we can go ahead and fire up Blender now. So here's 2.8. So what's the dealio with 2.8? You just fire it up from the folder?
Yeah, you fire it up from the folder.
Do you have-
and you can load up whatever sample.
Do you have to run as administrator or no?
No.
More info, run anyway. We're good. Okay, so this will be our last test here. So which one do you guys want to see? Actually, Anthony, which one do you want?
Well, the most intensive one that
Yeah.
really takes a long time is Gooseberry.
Gooseberry? How long would we expect Gooseberry to take on this puppy?
I think on the 99 and whatever, it was like 10 minutes. So like this should be like 6.
That's weird. It's complaining about my graphics driver with at least OpenGL 3.3 support.
Oh, you know what? You probably don't have a driver installed.
Well, I should have a driver. Oh, you know what? I might just need a reboot because the... Oh, wow, no, yeah, the whatever 1080 Ti drivers are on here apparently are old enough that they didn't come with 2000 series drivers in the package, would be my guess. Because normally you can just swap them around and it'll just grab it.
Yeah, those must be old drivers now.
Okay, so we're going to need to grab new NVIDIA drivers. I'm sorry, guys. I'm especially sorry to David, who has been holding the camera like a champion for like an hour and a half. How long have we been streaming?
An hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, an hour 45. David, you're up. You can tell even his like fist pound was exhausted. I'm sorry, man. You know we have to do it though.
Yeah.
We have to see
Gotta
Blender.
see this through.
We have to see it through. I am amazed this worked. Like,
First try.
I could not be... Yeah, you've spent enough time goofing around with weird tech with me that...
Yeah, you doesn't go this way.
yeah, you know that this is like... This is pretty good. This is pretty good for me. Oh, man. That's fantastic. I mean, I don't know. What else can we throw on this thing in the meantime? We can throw... well, I'll throw Steam on here. Although this really is not designed for gaming use.
Not even with a 2080 Ti.
Not even with a 2080 Ti. I mean, it'll run games in the same sense that you can run games on like a $6,000 Quadro and a $10,000 Xeon. Of course it'll run games. It's just not a great value. And so this is what? We figured about $5,000 all in for the CPU and motherboard?
CPU, motherboard, CPU itself is like $3,000. Motherboard is about 2. So
Yep.
yeah.
So in that neighborhood, and then, you know, plus no one puts one graphics card in a system like that. So you're going to need a couple 2080 Ti's. That gets you for another $2,500. Now you're at $7,500. You're going to need 6-channel memory. So you'll, oh yeah, does it require...
All right. Take it back.
We good? We back?
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just doing a clean install right now. So we're removing the previous version of the drivers just so we don't run into any weird issues. And then it, theoretically, this means you don't need to DDU. In practice, it's, I don't think, quite perfect, but it should be okay. DDU is mostly for switching between graphics hardware providers, so Intel, AMD, or NVIDIA. So weird that soon, like very soon, Intel's going to be a legitimate gaming graphics hardware provider as opposed to just onboard. Oh, I accidentally clicked the ad. Whoops. I still remember how outraged people were when they first started integrating ads in the driver installation process. They're like, why does my driver installer need internet access? Now that's like the least offensive thing, like the least intrusive part of PC gaming. Oh, man. All right, well, I guess I might as well, like, you know, start cleaning up then. I get,
You said you needed
can't really go anywhere.
a screwdriver or something?
I needed a bit for my screwdriver at some
Not
point.
to forget.
Oh yeah, I moved it way over here. I don't remember what I was planning to do with it. Oh, that's interesting. Right, I didn't even realize. Careful. I didn't even realize as I was putting it together, but no. EK's block here does not use a Torx bit. It actually ended up using a hex bit. So I did not need it. Wait, no, it is Torx. How did I put those in? How on earth did I put those in? Oh no, I did use a hex. Are they? Are they hex or Torx? No, they're hex. Sorry, they're hex. Okay, in fairness to me, they both have 6 somethings. So. All right, let's give it the. No. There's a Windows update. No. Okay, let's just see if we don't need to reboot. It's not funny, Anthony. Let's see if we can get away with it. I think we got away with one here. All right, all right, all right. Cool, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, whoops. Oh, no, I don't. They put the donate button right where the next button is. Very clever. All right. I guess I can just. Can I just grab it from the folder on the NAS? Oh, which one is that, though? Okay. Oh, here it is. Sample Blender files. Okay, which one do you want to do?
Gooseberry is the biggest and baddest one we've got.
How long does Gooseberry take, though?
On a high-end Core i9,
Yeah.
like 15 minutes.
15 minutes? I don't know if we have 15 minutes. What's the second most demanding?
Classroom.
Classroom.
That'll probably take a
Couple
couple minutes.
minutes? Okay, let's do it. Wait, how do you want to open it? Bloody hell, Blender. How do you think I want to open a .blender file? Oh, I see.
It's because you didn't install it.
Yeah.
You had to open it directly from.
Will that work? Hey, it did. Ha! Nice. Okay. Crap. I can never remember how to start it. Anthony, sorry?
F12.
F12. Of course, there's a shortcut.
Not while you have the menus open.
Dang it. Go. All right, so here we go. So this evidently is, whoa, ouch. So we only managed to hit 2.4 gigahertz on this particular load. What are our temps like? Still in the neighborhood of about 40 degrees. What's interesting too is we're not actually maxing out our CPU usage here, which I'm not sure if you guys can see very well, but we're only at about 76, 77%. It's kind of bouncing around a little bit there. So that is going to be the, I mean, honestly, that's a big part of the reason that we haven't seen desktop processors. And I use the term desktop a little bit loosely. I mean, there's a desk, and they're like, chop. You know, obviously there's a workstation processor, but we haven't seen desktop processors with these kinds of core counts ever before. So there's been technological limitations, but I mean, AMD or Intel could have easily done a dual socket solution or something like that. But even among the high-end applications that are used by creative professionals or other professionals, there are still going to be limitations to how many cores can be effectively utilized. Now, I don't know if this is just something that requires some tuning on our part to sort of figure out. Anthony took over the CPU reviews before we ever started using Blender regularly, so I have literally haven't touched it in a couple of years as a benchmark. But stay tuned, because this is not the last you're going to see of this. This is just us having some fun taking it out of the box. But Anthony's going to be working on a full review of this thing, kind of trying to figure out what is it? What is its place in the market? Should anybody actually buy this thing? And he's going to have a really interesting point of comparison. So our buddies over at Puget Systems actually sent us over, what is it, the 9990XE?
Yeah, the one you can only get in the office.
Yeah, so that's a really unique CPU that you can only get through what's called like an auction process. So there's no such thing as just calling up your rep at Tech Data or Cynix or Ingram Micro or whatever and just being like, yeah, I'll have a 9980XE. Intel only sells them sporadically. They'll just have like X number of them available, and then you bid on them. And so it's entirely a system integrator only SKU, but it's really interesting because it's 14 cores, unlike the 9980XE, which has 18 cores, but they are clocked to high hell and back. Like this thing turbos to 5 gigahertz, just like the 8-core processors on the consumer platform, like the 6 and 8 cores. 14 cores. Very interesting. I don't know would you know what the all-core turbo is on that thing by any chance? I don't remember either.
I don't think so.
But it was like mind-bendingly high. So we'll compare it against that as well, mostly just out of curiosity, since neither of these are something that are going to be attainable to normal people, whether it's because they don't have access to an Intel auction or if it's because they don't have $5,000 for a CPU and motherboard combo. I can give you guys sort of a preview of the conclusion. Actually, this is funny. You know what? I'm going to try my best to get the conclusion exactly right. It's an utterly unique product for those who need the absolute best of performance in a handful of unusual workloads and or who need more single-threaded performance and many, many cores than is offered by Intel's existing workstation or server products. However, if you're a regular desktop user or even a lightweight to mid-weight workstation user, it is very unlikely that the W3195X, whatever they call it, is going to provide any additional value for you. So we'd really recommend sticking with something else. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Threadripper's probably going to crap all over as far as price performance goes.
Well, Threadripper's price performance is going to look pretty good, yes. Even with the what I thought were obscenely expensive $500 motherboards.
You're on the home stretch on that. It should only be like another 15 seconds or so.
Yep. Da 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 da. How many people are watching this hot mess?
We dropped a few. It's currently at like 15,000 something.
You guys are soldiers at this point. Because this has been agonizing. Agonizing all around. So many things were painful to watch, to experience. There we go. Okay. And
It's not quite done.
almost 5 minutes, 13 seconds. Okay, are we done?
That
5 minutes, 13 seconds.
it doesn't look right. But
Wait, yeah, why is that purple?
I don't know. Is it because you loaded it from the network directly?
I did load it from the network directly.
Yeah, I don't normally do that. But anyway,
Did that bung things up a little?
possibly. For reference though, the 9980XE
Yep.
was 6 minutes 45 seconds on that test.
Okay, so this is a full minute and a half faster than the 9980XE, which was the previous top of Intel's heap. All right, so I think that is pretty much the end of this marathon stream. Thank you guys for watching. If you disliked, you can hit that button, but if you liked it, hit like, get subscribed, or maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured at the link in the video description. Also down there is our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one, and will have this cool hoodie later. And our community forum, which you should totally join. Go ahead and cut it, Anthony.